Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Red Gaming Tech video. My name is Amata and I hope you're having a great holiday so far. Today we are going to dive straight into some news regarding Zen 4, as a lot of information has leaked on some major announcements which are incoming for Ryzen 7000 Raphael, as well as some more details on the specifications and a few other non-Zen 4 things which are also really damn interesting. Now Zen 4 is really exciting. All of the leaks and such so far have pointed to it being a bit of a monster, and now we have a tweet which was initially posted by Lafreak David but then retweeted by Harukaze, obviously on Twitter, and the initial tweet was a screenshot of a forum post, so obviously do take all of this information I'm about to say with the usual pinch of salt TM. However, there is quite a bit of information we can glean here. So, Zen 4, which again is codenamed Raphael, we are going to be seeing released at Computex 2022. Now you might scratch your head and go, didn't we just see the other day that it's going to be at CES 2022? Yes, we did. However, Mark Papermaster was keen to say that it was going to be sort of like a tease or a preview. They're going to talk about it, but it's not going to be a focus. They did say that there'll be more announcements for Zen 4 coming over the year, and likely their focus is more going to be the Zen 3D or Ryzen Vcache if you prefer. So it being released at Computex actually makes perfect sense, and we're going to be seeing it released along with the X670 motherboards. And they did also state that the B650 may be a little later, and they have not heard anything new about the A620. Now another interesting thing, and this isn't the first time we've heard this, but just to reiterate, Raphael is going to have PCIe 5 support, but the X670 and a B650 PCH motherboards are going to be joining Camp Intel in only supporting PCIe 4. So Raphael itself will support PCIe 5, but we are going to be only seeing, at least according to this information, PCIe 4 support for the X670, and allegedly we are going to see the X670 chipset have no RTX due to too many features. Now, as I said, there's also some other non-Zen 4 stuff that this leaker had to share with us. They stated that the mobile version of Zen 3 Rembrandt will be released at CES, and the desktop version will come after Raphael, possibly around Q3 of 2022, which again makes sense. Just goes to show that yes, we will see Zen 4 at CES next year, but it's not going to be a focus. The focus is going to be stuff like Zen 3 Rembrandt, Ryzen Vcache, and a bunch of other stuff, and obviously some teasers for a few other things as well. I think CES is going to be really interesting. A lot of people are very heavily anticipating both Zen 4 and RDNA 3, as well as of course RTX 40 from Nvidia as well. So it's going to be great to finally at least start to get some hints as to what's happening. Obviously we've had tons of leaks and reports and so on, but it's always great to get that concrete information from the mouth of the company themselves. So I think CES is going to be cool, but Computex is going to be where it's at if you're interested in Zen 4 informations. And as exciting as Ryzen Vcache is, and it is damn exciting. The sort of performance gains they're getting from this is crazy. It is pretty insane. I think many people are really curious to see what Zen 4 can actually do, especially after all the recent promising leaks. But we're going to move swiftly on from that to some specs which have leaked out for Threadripper PRO 5000. This is thanks to eagleslab.de, and of course you can find that article linked in the description below. So this has been mysteriously absent from the lineup, as I'm sure you would agree, and a lot of people have been going doing mod check, wondering where the hell it is. But we can learn quite a lot of information about this thanks to Eagle's leaks, and we can see on the list, we see 12 core up to 64 cores SKUs planned, 12, 16, 24, 32 and 64 of course. Now unsurprisingly, the flagship here is going to be the 5995WX, and we're going to be seeing a pretty damn impressive 64 cores and 128 threads, and at least according to Eagle's information, we will see support DDR4 3200 memory, and is more likely to feature 128 lanes of support for PCIe 4. And also interestingly, compared to the current generation of Threadripper, which is still the third generation, the 3995WX, just to give the flagship example, we do see a slight boost in the maximum boost clock, whereas before it was 4.2 GHz, at least according to this information, we will see it reach 4.55, and of course it will have the Zen 3 microarchitecture, which is important. Architectural changes can be very, very significant for giving those improvements to a new line of processors. Now, according to videocards.com, Threadripper PRO 5000 is set to launch on March 2022, and once again we will apparently see it at CES 2022. So again, lots and lots of stuff at CES, and hopefully it will actually be a thing, but I think we can all agree that this is very, very late for a Zen 3 Threadripper to be releasing, but I think it will still go down well with people who actually do, the 3D work and that sort of thing that actually require this level of processor. And obviously, Threadripper has just been on an absolute tear, or was on an absolute tear, I suppose you should say. Intel just didn't really have a response to it, so be curious to see if that indeed does continue with this upcoming Threadripper PRO 5000. But let's move on, shall we, from AMD to Nvidia, as there has been a really, really tasty leak for the RTX 3090 Ti thanks to videocards.com, and of course you can find their article linked below. So basically they have managed to get their hands, thanks to an anonymous source, the NDA documents for the upcoming RTX 3090 Ti graphics card from MSI. And this confirms several details about the upcoming GPU. It confirms the launch date, but also the memory configuration. So the NDA embargo lift date, as you can see, is the 27th of January 2022 at 6 PM PT. Sorry, excuse me, I mean to say 6 AM. However, that January the 27th date will seem very, very familiar because there was also a recent embargo leak also on videocards.com which showed the embargo timeline as January 27th and 6 AM Pacific time for the launch time. So again, this is kind of just backing up what we've seen before. However, that old leak was just for the on-shelf date, but this new document, which apparently, according to VideoCards' sources, has been confirmed as genuine. We will see it indeed launch on the 27th of January 2022, and apparently Nvidia are going to be detailing this particular GPU at their press conference at CES, which again is January 4th. Now obviously we can see that this particular card is going to be the RTX 3090 Ti Supreme X24G, which obviously confirms once again that 24GB configuration. So not only is this lining up with previous leaks that we have discussed, it is also lining up what we have been hearing from our sources. So for all of you who've been wondering what is actually going to be going on with the RTX 3090 Ti, because we've been saying for a while that the release of this particular card is shrouded in mystery, everyone seemed to be unsure when it was actually happening and all this other stuff. It is going to be CES, and then we'll see just how much this thing is going to cost, which I think is the biggest question on a lot of people's lips. And, well, we don't have to wait all that long to find out. Anyway, guys, that is me done for this day. I hope you have an amazing holiday. Enjoy the food, chill, family, TV, whatever. Either way, have a great one. I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye-bye.